Okay,
Sounds
you had
insecure.
a really strong reaction to that.
Oh, it's triggering.
You did that.
It's fucking triggering.
What's your reaction there?
He just looks like an insecure little bitch that can't handle a baddie.
Wait, hold on. You know who that is, though, right?
Muhammad Ali? Now I do, apparently.
World championship boxer. He's a little bitch. Okay.
I don't give a fuck who he is.
He's awesome.
But why? Why does that, I guess, upset you?
Well, it's like, if you're with a beautiful woman and other people look, like, who gives a fuck? Yeah, my girl's hot. Hype her up, gas her up.
Yeah, but
Wait.
okay.
Who here agrees with her?
Oh, no, I said I agree a little bit with the video.
You agree with him? What about you?
I don't agree with him, but I had a question, like, you agree with what he's saying?
To an extent, right?
I agree that, like, if a woman's beautiful, people are going to look at her if she's modest or not, like, in general. So if you're beautiful, like, why do you have to overly show it? And I personally like to feel, like, protected by my man. And so I wouldn't dress scandalously with a man, personally.
But I feel like you're dressed, like, a little scandalous. I mean, obviously, I'm very scandalous, too. But, like, you have really short shorts on and your boobs are out.
Well, he
So-
was also talking about marriage and, like, being in a committed relationship. And I think that's, like, a huge difference.
I agree with that.
She's in a relationship with herself after all, so.
Yeah.
So you can wear what you want.
I mean,
Yeah.
if I like to dress sexy, it makes me happy. I don't do it to get attention. I do it because it makes me feel good about myself. And I feel like my partner should be celebrating me if I'm happy, whatever makes me happy. And if I like to dress like that, it is what it is.
I think
Whatever makes you happy.
I think for men that
hold on,
shows
hold
an
on. Can I
opening,
have you
though.
scoot your microphone to the edge of the table, like kind of pull it? Here, let's go around the table, get people's reactions.
I'm all for Muhammad Ali, what he said. I don't want a Kanye West that parades his wife out naked in front of, it's like, how humiliating for her, as though she's just trash. I love the protectiveness of a man that he loves. He wants to cherish her. I think it's great. I love him.
Your reaction?
Yeah, I don't agree with him not wanting his person to wear not wear a bikini at the beach, like it's the beach. But I do understand why he wouldn't want his wife showing certain intimate parts of her body, like in public, because that's his wife. But that also comes with understanding your person before you get married.
What about you?
Yeah, I would say the same thing, I think, because he's talking about being in a committed relationship. But if when you're single and doing whatever, I don't think that's that big of a deal. But I think it is a red flag when someone's in a relationship and then their partner is dressed a certain way. It kind of shows that there's like an opening in the relationship. And maybe it's not as solid, in my opinion. But I do think anyone should be able to wear whatever they want. But in that case, it would kind of be like a red flag.
Okay, your thoughts?
I'm like 50-50 what he was saying, because I think we are independent. I mean, you as a woman or as a guy, you have your right to dress up as you want. And no one has the right to tell you how you should go out from your house. Even if it's your boyfriend, your husband, your daughter, your son, doesn't matter. So I think I understand his point of view. And I do believe there are a lot of women outside thinking the way how he is thinking. And he will find that girl. I mean, he will find it because we are so different. But I think at the same time, he has to respect if his or her partner doesn't want to dress up how he wanted to, it's fine. I mean, we need to respect each other, I think. So,
I think respect is
Kanye West.
yeah, but I think in that case, she likes it. She wanted to. She's doing it. So
Is
why?
that like-
That's questionable, though. I don't know. If
Yeah,
That's
we don't know
like-
if he wants to do it.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
She did that many times. So
Wait, so just question for you really quick, and then I know Andrew wants to weigh in, but you said that a boyfriend or husband should not be able to tell their girlfriend or wife how to dress.
yeah.
Okay, but so are you saying that it's pretty much there's no boundaries or there's no influence that someone can have in a relationship? Like you wouldn't, I mean, there's a different dynamic here when it comes to like more traditional relationships. If there's a
Exactly.
Submissive dynamic where can a woman dictate to a man what to do, but you think a man and his girlfriend or wife's about to go out wearing like lingerie and he's like, I don't want you to wear that, that's crazy. You don't think he can dictate that to her?
They can have the discussion, but he has no right to say what she wants to wear.
Okay, but how about this? So I guess he can't force her to do it, but he can also say, okay, well, this relationship's over.
They should have
Is
the
that
same,
fair? Is that
same
fair?
moral code.
Huh?
The same moral code.
Wait, so, and also to you, like if your boyfriend was wearing like something totally inappropriate to go out to, say, like a dinner, like a family dinner, and he wanted to wear, I mean, it's kind of different between men and women just because of what we're allowed to, but it just wasn't, he wasn't dressed well enough.
Okay.
He's not like his balls aren't
Yeah.
hanging out or some shit, but I don't know, whatever. He's wearing like shorts and a tank top. You wouldn't say anything to you're not wearing that to the dinner. You wouldn't say anything?
I've been there. I've been in that situation, and I said everything. But at the end, it's up to him. I cannot say anything. I will go out with him anyways. I cannot say, okay, we are broke. We break up right now, or you are not going with me. I mean,
So
it's
you're
not
saying,
fair.
So you're saying this was the extent of the conversation. Hey, boyfriend, can you change into something else? And he said no, and that was the end of the conversation.
We go out anyways. I
But
mean, you
but
can
does the
have.
conversation end there, or are you like, you really can't wear that?
I will not keep pushing the other person to change or to wear whatever I want, because I think everyone should decide what you want to wear and how you want to be watching by the other people. Like, no, I want to dress up like this, and I want people watch me with this. So I think, yeah.
What if your boyfriend or husband wanted to wear a dress, a pink dress, out with you somewhere? Would you
Live your best life. Have a fucking ball.
Okay. You know what? Before I have Andrew weigh in here, do you have any other thoughts on this?
I think she does.
Okay.
I do. Okay.
Careful, guys.
First, I think it's good to mention that there's a big cultural difference in terms of clothing and style between America and like everywhere else in the world.
Yeah,
I think it's
he's
very
American.
valid. But like, yeah, he has different traditions rooted in him, though, of course.
Sure. And it's also that's
Yeah, yeah.
probably from the 70s or 80s.
Yeah, of course. And then I think it's very valid for him to think that. But of course, he's talking about what he likes. And I think it's also valid as a mother, as like a wife, to not wear. I mean, miniskirt is like, it's kind of not necessary in my opinion. And I think it is important to discuss those things. Like, I wouldn't go out. I always ask my boyfriend for his opinion for what I wear. It's because, like, I want to look good for him. Of course, I want to look good in general for myself, but he is, like, my boyfriend, you know, and I do it for him, too. But I think what he said is valid to many extents. It's just, many extents.
I think it's the way you go about it too, because it's one thing to communicate, hey, like you wearing this makes me uncomfortable, versus take this shit over and like you know what I'm
and
saying?
relationships just have
I agree with
respect.
that.
Like, if he doesn't want me to wear something because like this, and there's just occasions you wear certain things. The beach in California, yeah. But then like if you're in the streets wearing a bikini, then it's like no.
Can I say something?
Sure, go ahead.
Because literally like my whole Instagram is just me in a bikini, so I I really like personally showing off my body because I'm very confident in myself, and like I think that that's like what's most beautiful about myself, and like how I express myself is with like costumes and very like provocative clothes, and it just makes me feel really pretty. And for some reason, this is probably like my own issue, but anytime like I'm very conservative and like completely covered up, I literally feel so ugly, and I'm not sure why I'm like that, but I really do like feel so ugly, like if I'm not like showing off.
And then going back to you, you said you think men are insecure. Is that
Well, to me, it's like when you're being controlling.
Okay.
Don't tell your girl what to wear. You can voice your concern, how it makes you feel. Like, it makes me feel uncomfortable for you to wear that. And she'll get to decide how she acts according to what his feelings.
So do you believe in like 50-50 relationships?
If it works for you, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. If it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah, what about you?
I've been in different scenarios. Like, I've been the provider, but I've also been the girl that's been taken care of. I've been on both ends of the spectrum.
Okay, but what about, do you, in terms of decision making in a relationship, you want it to be 50-50? Do you want a guy who's a leader? What do you like, what's the dynamic that you prefer? I
mean, I like when the man takes the lead, but I also like it when he gives me an opportunity to lead for certain situations. It just depends.
I'm sorry, why you say when he gives me the lead, like the opportunity, like he doesn't have to give you like.
Well, like sometimes like my boyfriend be like, like we'll plan a date night, and then he'll be like, "You want me to plan it, or do you want to take the reins on it?" Like, yes.
No, go ahead.
Oh, that's
Go
all
ahead.
That's all I had to say.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I have a quick video on that. Pull it up. Then Andrew's chomping at the bit to get in. Go ahead. Play it. Go ahead.
I got
Low
away
volume.
with everything
Low volume.
under the last boss, and it wasn't good for me at all. So I want guidance.
That's good.
I want leadership. But don't just like boss me around, you know? Like lead me. Lead me when I'm in the mood to be led.
Yeah, so I mean,
I don't think it's mood, it's more like circumstances.
but it's like you said you wanted a guy who's a leader, but how's a guy supposed to turn it on, turn it off? Like,
I mean, that's what
usually
people do.
100%. You guys can't really pick and choose. Like,
feel
you
like
either want a
even-
leader or you can have a little soy boy who's looking to you.
Yeah.
What do you, I don't know what I want to eat. Whatever you want, babe.
But like even like Embers had like a counselor, you know what I mean? There's
Embers? What is
like
that?
Emperors, like just
Oh,
like
Emperors?
just like they just have like you just talk about things. Like that's what relationships are. Like and there's certain things that again, different roles, different things. Girl.
there's got to be give and take.
Yeah.
Does there?
Honestly, like can be so pushy and intense sometimes that when a guy's like, no, I'm like, someone did that? Like, and I like that. And that's
I feel
weird,
that.
right?
No.
Like,
I love strong
because
men.
there's
Yeah.
guys that just won't say anything. And I'm like, if you agree with everything I say, I know you're full
Sure.
of shit.
Andrew, you wanted to weigh in on this?
Yeah. So you
Boost the
said
audio.
this was chair 3. You'd said, you know, you just can't handle a bad bitch, right? You can't handle a baddie, right? Can't handle a baddie. But it's really funny because he actually is answering to the criticisms which a lot of the table have offered this evening towards men. And he's offering basically exactly what it is that you want. It's not good enough. So here's what he actually said there. Women, I don't know why, but when men speak, especially on topics like this, women just tune them out and seem to hear what they want to hear. But here's what he actually said. What he actually said was, if you put all of that on display, if you're putting everything out on display for other people, right, then obviously you must want other people to see it. He says, things like gold, diamonds, things like this, they're really super hard to find. And so when a man finds something like that, he doesn't want to share it because it's his. He doesn't want to share it with anybody. He doesn't want other people to touch it. He doesn't put it out on display. He doesn't want it stolen from him. He doesn't want it taken from him. He doesn't want it looked at by other people. He doesn't want it fondled. He doesn't want it manhandled. He doesn't want it messed with, right? He wants it all to himself because it's his. It's his diamond. It's his gold. It's that, and he says, I fought tooth and nail to get it because those things, which are diamonds, are the hardest things in the whole world to find. They're the hardest things in the world to get, and it takes a lot of work to get one. So when you get one, you don't want to share it with anybody, right? So his criticism is, why would you, if a man has you and values you that much, betray him by doing that to him? That's his criticism. Not a single one of you responded to the criticism because you didn't even fucking listen. You didn't even fucking listen to him.
Well, first of all, diamond rings are like on people's hands all the time. People share like.
You're not even gonna.
But
answer
I'm just.
to the criticism. Give me a break.
Oh, first
Can
of
you answer
all-
to the actual criticism.
Yeah.
Answer to the actual criticism. Go ahead.
Wait, repeat the criticism one more time so I can
Yeah, you
really
didn't
dive
even
in.
hear it. See
No,
what I
just
mean?
repeat it
You
one more
literally
time.
didn't hear the
No, go ahead
criticism.
and just
Hold
repeat it
on.
instead of like always.
it out.
No, just go ahead and just say it one more time. Like I think all of us
Here's the
contributed.
Reader's Digest
Okay,
version.
go ahead.
Man finds most valuable thing on planet Earth, does not want to share it. Does not want to share it because he's showing how much he values it by refusing to share it, right? Thing that's valuable, though, says, I want to be shared. That shows man, thing that's valuable doesn't value him.
Yeah.
You get it now?
Yeah,
Is that simple enough?
Okay, if he values something, he'll want the best for whatever he values. He would. This is a person, not an object that we're talking about too. So if the object is opinionated, I think someone who values them would also listen. That's why it's two in a relationship. I agree to what he said in terms of being promiscuous and stuff, but again, it takes two, and I think that both opinions matter. If each other there's respect between each other, there's going to be conversation. If he's dating someone or being with somebody who won't listen to
what
him,
Conversation.
I'm
Like,
just-
what conversation?
and just
What
like
conversation? What conversation needs to be had when you say you're the most valuable thing on earth to me?
so therefore I have
The
to stay
most
hidden.
valuable thing on
Okay.
earth to me.
Yes.
So please don't betray that
Yeah,
by
of course.
putting yourself in the hands of other men.
But how
That's
is that putting in the hands of other men if you're just if you're
Because
still
what
with
else
them?
are you displaying it for? You guys always cope and say, oh, I just dress like a skank so that other women will think I'm pretty. Stop lying. It's bullshit. It's bullshit and lies. Every man knows it's bullshit and lies. You put yourselves on display because you want the adoration of men.
We want the
That's why you do it. Yes,
Okay.
it is. Yes, it is.
Why
And
do
the
you
thing
always
is,
think
like,
it's about
the
men
code-
that we want to give
the
it
code-
to? It makes
because here's the thing. I
Okay.
believe 100%, and you can dispute this. I want to hear
Okay,
it.
sounds good.
I believe 100% if all men died tomorrow, there wasn't a single man left. There was a man wiped out virus, right? We're all gone. I don't
Okay.
think any of you would dress like that.
Who
Who the hell would you be dressing
Do you
like?
do you know
would. I like
about
fashion.
women
I
gyms?
like clothes.
I love clothes. I think the one thing about being a woman that is really cool that I like learned to love is dressing up. It is really, really fun. And if you guys all died, I would still dress up
Same.
even better. Matter of fact, I might go out naked if it's all just women. You know what I mean? It's just like we like to dress up.
No,
Yeah.
no. In the
So,
morning,
please.
in the morning when you got up to go to the store, you wouldn't spend 3 hours in front of the mirror. You'd put on
Yeah,
a
because
hoodie
I
and
have
sweatpants,
a
'cause who
schedule
the
and a
hell you
tight
impressing?
schedule. If I had all the time in the world to
Come
play
on.
dress up,
What, it's
I
such-
would.
It's such cope. It's such cope when women claim. Like she says, Chair 2 says, I dress in bikinis all day in my Instagram, but that's because it's the only way I feel good about me.
And that's
Yeah,
her.
You think that that's for
Yeah.
other women, right? You
Yeah,
think
that's
No,
her.
it's like for myself though, because that's what
for you.
I mean. I think I'm like I look good and I feel pretty. That's what I was saying. Is like it's about myself.
You keep bringing her up because she's like she does.
I just don't
feel
understand.
overwhelmed.
I love the video of the dad when his daughter goes out. She chopped off her pants to wear hot pants. So he went in the kitchen and he chopped his pants
love
off.
that.
So
That's
he's
nice.
wearing hot pants.
Yeah, of
and people are going, "What the hell is he doing?"
No, that's valid
And
as a father
finally,
to want.
she got the point that she
Yeah.
looked like a complete
Yeah.
hooch.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
You know.
There's again
ahead,
the
go ahead.
circumstances.
I just don't understand how a specific outfit equals I'm sharing my woman with the world. Like it doesn't compute in my
No.
brain.
You're
The
missing
thing is that
point.
men are
You're
really,
right.
really visual.
That actually shouldn't. Hang on. You're right. That actually shouldn't compute because it misses the point entirely. It's not about. I don't want my woman to go out because in these clothes because it's sharing her with the world. It's about the betrayal that she would even want to.
How
That's
many
what it's about.
hard-ons
Hang
do
on,
women give
hang on.
men just
Let
walking
me
by
finish, lady.
looking
Calm
like
down,
that?
lady. Well, calm down, lady. I'm almost done. So what he's referencing there is he's saying, why would a person who I value this much, I found gold, you're gold, and I'm going to treat you like you're precious in all ways to me. By never putting you on display, by putting you under lock and key from all dangers, you're as precious as diamonds and rubies. Why would you betray that by going and putting yourself on display for other men? That's his point.
I just don't understand how it's betrayal if that's just how she likes to dress.
Because you're getting a man hard, okay? Men look with their eyes. How many hard-ons do you give a man when you're
because it's not
exposed
about
walking
men.
down the street?
It's not about just you. It's not always about you. It's not always about how you feel, right?
And that-
it's
and but-
it's also the idea here is imagine for a second that all capacity you had for caring about somebody else was imbued in one other human being. And that human being appeared like they wanted to share themselves with others. Wouldn't that feel like the ultimate betrayal to you?
No.
No.
Well, first of all, you keep
then it's
saying-
then it's like reasoning with a 10-year-old.
Well, you keep
Because
saying
it's
that.
like
if I can't even
Like, sorry,
reason
kinda.
with you, right?
And
then-
that's what
then you're
communication
you're
is.
taking an
Yeah.
unprincipled position. Hang on, one at a time. Let her finish, right? She
Mm-hmm.
doesn't need your help. You don't have to insert, right? So anyway, it's impossible to actually reason with you on this. Then, if I ask you the question, you imbued all of your love into one person, and that one person wanted to share themselves with other people, that wouldn't feel like a betrayal to you? How does that even make sense?
I think if you get in a relationship with someone who dresses like that constantly, then it shouldn't be betrayal to you. So it kind of
If
just
you-
depends.
if you met them like
If
that.
you met them and that's who they are, then that's who they are, and it's kind of on you to, if you're trying to change somebody.
Like whether or not you can accept it or not.
I mean, all of my boyfriends
but hang on.
really.
He addresses this criticism.
Why do you
You're
keep
right. So I agree
interrupting
with
though?
you. But he addresses this criticism. So he's saying, wait a second. You find this woman. She's one of the ones that's not doing this other behavior. She's not dressing like a this. She's not dressing like a that. right? She's not putting herself on display for other people. But then why, if you did have her, would you ever want her to, even if she wanted to? Of course you don't. Of course not.
Yeah, I think we're talking
Right.
about two different types of women.
Wait, I would even address that. So even in the situation where, okay, she's dressing that way when she's single, I think there's an expectation, obviously, when people are single, they're going to be doing single behavior. So prior to dating, a guy could have no problem with a woman necessarily engaging in what he considered to be single behavior. In this case, advertising yourself by dressing revealing. But once you've started dating, once you're in a relationship, once you're married, he now wanted her to act in a way that he thought was consistent and commensurate with being in a relationship. And here's the reality that a lot of you guys just don't like to acknowledge. Men and women flirt differently. So men will slide into your DMs. Women don't really do those sort of, I'm not saying some women will slide into DMs. We'll slide into a DMs. We'll approach. Women, you will put yourselves in positions to be approached. So if you go to the club, you're not running up on 10, 20 different dudes in the night. Hey, what's up? Can I get your number? No, but you're putting yourself in a position dressed as attractively as possible to garner the attention of men. Now, I know you guys dress up for other reasons, whatever, but you're putting yourselves nevertheless in said position to be approached. And this applies to online, how you portray yourself online. So if you're posting revealing photos online, you don't slide into a dude's DM, but you post a thirst trap, guys are DMing you. You go out to the bar and club, you're dressed revealing, whatever it is, maybe you don't even want that. Guys are going to come up to you. So that's the difference. But here's the interesting thing. We don't put any controls on women's single conduct. So for example, if I was in a relationship, would you all agree that it would be essentially cheating if I'm dating a girl, I'm in a relationship with her, for me to go up to a woman and flirt?
Yeah.
100%.
Sure. And so, but the behaviors in which women elicit male attention in a relationship, this is all new shit. Instagram, girls have been dressing provocatively for 40, 50 years maybe. Men don't clamp down on your single behaviors because it's all new. It's all new, but it's pretty clear. Like if a woman, you'd step to a dude, you approach a guy, that's cheating. I step to a girl, that's cheating. But y'all don't step to dudes to begin with. You don't approach men to begin with. You put yourselves in the position to be approached. That's your single girl behavior. And you continue that in the relationship. So men, we want reciprocity, but it's not perfectly, there's not perfect symmetry in the ways that we act. So you go to the club dressed revealing. That's what you do when you're single. That's how you get attention when you're single. We have to stop our behaviors. Stepping to a girl, approaching a girl, but you guys don't.
I think those boundaries should just be communicated because some guys don't care if their girl
Sure.
dresses all, like
Don't
that.
disagree at all.
So I think that should just be communicated before a serious relationship takes place.
Yeah.
Sure, but I would make the argument that a man who doesn't care about you. That would be my argument that I would make. I would make the argument that if a man doesn't care, if you go out and you advertise all the goods all the time, he doesn't really give a shit about you. Because the things that I care about, I keep them close. I keep them under lock and key. I keep them guarded. I don't let anybody near them. Right?
But I
don't
also
let
think
anybody near them.
Go ahead.
I also think you know your partner. So if you're dating someone who's clearly dressing up for like male attention and other male attention, or if you're dating someone who's just confident with themselves and is wearing something because they feel like they look nice, you should know the difference between those two partners.
Yeah, but here's the thing. People can come. So people lie to themselves a lot, right? Women and men both. Women are not the only ones who lie to themselves at all, right? Men lie to themselves often too, especially when it comes to relationships. And oftentimes we'll live under a self-delusion, right? That these are not problematic behaviors and things like this, even though they actually are. So ultimately, I'm just saying, I think it's a diluted take. If a man that you're with, so there's two things, right? If a man you're with is willing to share you with another man, he doesn't give a shit about you, right? I think anybody would universally agree if a man lets another man sleep with you, he doesn't care about you. But I would take it one step further and say that if a man is allowing you to flaunt your goods to other men, that's basically doing the exact same thing. It's advertising that you're available to sleep with. That's the point, right? So how can he really care about you? I don't really believe that they could. I don't think that they could.
Well, I do think one of the biggest issues we have right now too with dating is that like we don't give enough time to get to know someone. So your hypothetical situation could be a relationship that's been like 6 months, and these people don't even know each other anyway. So there's like no trust. You guys haven't been through shit with each other, and then it's like all of a sudden you're jealous over this person that you just met like 5 minutes ago, and you're in a relationship with them, and there's like no trust because there's been no time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but still, ultimately, if you're saying I'm in a relationship, I just I don't see how you think a man values you if he doesn't give a shit if you dress half naked and go to a club. They don't care about you then. They just don't care. And even if they themselves believe that they do, it's just self-delusion, right? Things men care about, they guard with their lives. And they don't share them. They don't easily share them.
But men don't care about us like that right now
Uh-huh.
because they don't know us well enough.
No, it's not that. It's that they don't care about most of you guys because that's how most of you guys act. So what's to care about, right? They think they think you're always advertising. You're always open for business. And so they think you're always open for business. It's like you can never truly be that piece of gold that I found, that ruby I have, that really rare earth mineral that's only for me, because you're still open for business. You could be somebody else's. That's how they.
Have you had that earth mineral in your life? Have you had a woman like that you feel that way about her? And how long did you know her?
You mean my wife?
Yeah. How long did you know her before you felt that way?
From dating her?
Yeah, from meeting her to dating her to being together.
For us, trust
how many
was built
years?
For us, trust was built very quickly. But you know what? I was actually
What's
really
quickly?
Hang on. I was actually very fortunate. I don't remember. You're talking about like 16 years ago.
I'm saying, that's why you feel this way.
I was fortunate in this take, right? So my wife saw me as that piece of gold, saw me as that piece of platinum, right? I was not to be advertised. I was not to be I was the hidden kept secret, the nobody's coming near you. Nobody's going to get near you, period, right? Now, I'm an ugly old man now, but I used to be handsome and strong, right? So the thing is like, she didn't want nobody coming near me, right? Mm-hmm. And that's one of the ways she showed me how valuable I really was to her. Mm-hmm. And it's like,
and did you see her value in doing that immediately, or how long did it take?
The second that behavior starts, the other person at least understands how much you value them, yeah.
I just think that
immediately, that would be day one. Day one, if a person said, look, I respect you too much, or have enough self-respect for myself to allow myself to be seen in public with a half-naked harlot, I think that they're telling you something, right?
I have like two.
Wait, hold on. You wanted to come in?
I'm gonna just say this, as a DJ, both Jade and I, we like to wear sexy outfits. The guy I'm currently seeing, her boyfriend, they love seeing us flourish and thrive and be in our rock star era. And we make sure it's known that these are our men. Kiss them, hold their hand, make them feel secure. We're going home together at the end of the night. We're getting drinks together. So, I don't know. If it works for you. And that should be discussed between both parties.
Well, how about this?
And you know what? I even understand. I understand the take. I understand the take of saying, look, there's certain things that I want, certain needs that I have, that, if you're not interested in reciprocity here, I'm just not interested in a relationship. I get that. I'm just telling you, I think it's ultimately somewhat beside the point. I'm saying that I don't think men can really value you or really do value you if they don't give a shit how provocatively you're dressed when you go out with your girlfriends or you go to the club or you have these types of pictures on Instagram. I don't believe that they really do. I think that it would be a really hard sell because I just know how men behave when they really care about something. And when they do, man, you can't get near it. You can't get near it.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I think that you're really old, and I think that the younger generation is a little bit different. And I date younger guys.
Lady, hang on, lady.
And no,
lady.
don't interrupt me,
Lady,
please.
hell will freeze over before I'll be lectured by a hooker.
Well, I'm not
hell
a hooker.
Will freeze over before I will be
That's
lectured.
very
by
rude.
A
I'm not a hooker. OnlyFans
You're a prostitute,
is not a,
lady.
No, I'm
You're
not a prostitute.
Are you on OnlyFans selling your butthole pics for 50 cents?
that doesn't discount her
No.
opinion, though.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to get
And honestly, I think it's really
I'm
weird that you
never,
have
ever
a
gonna
wife
get
and you're
lectured in
saying
this
those
world
things
by a
about me.
prostitute, ever.
Like, why are you
Never.
worried about my
Why would I
body so
ever
much?
care about relationship advice from a fucking prostitute? Why would I care about
And
that?
you're
So you can
ugly
get a different
and old. I don't
perspective.
care.
Ever. Why would I ever care? I'm talking about normal people in normal relationships.
I mean, I actually have a rebuttal to this. So you say younger people, they move a certain way. The reality is Gen Z, it's actually way more conservative, and Gen Z men are leaning way more conservative than previous generations. So this idea that younger generations, like when I was younger, yeah, people like girls were dressing revealing. Like it's not a new thing.
Well, you
Trust
just said
me.
that it's a
But
new
this-
thing. It's the last 40 years. You just said that. That people.
Yeah, I
that
would
girls
say
started
since like the
dressing more
1970s, it's been progressively more and more socially acceptable to dress revealing.
I agree, and I think all of my friends are the same age as me, and we all dress sexy.
Yeah,
Very
we're not
sexy.
disputing that
Yeah, but
women
you also
dress
have the incentive
revealing.
of wanting to part men's money from their wallet in exchange for your flesh. Do you realize the distinction?
They're giving it to her.
Yeah, in exchange for her flesh. So do you understand how biased that it ultimately will end up being when it comes to the idea of
Well,
relationships
even
and why
before
it is
I did
that even
OnlyFans,
contending with this?
I dressed sexy too.
Yeah, because you're incentivizing men through your Instagram to go to your OF and give you money.
I just said before I ever did Instagram or OnlyFans, I dressed sexy too, even in high school.
Yeah, it's not just sex workers who are involved in who dress revealing.
Yeah,
We're
but
not
that's
making
what
that
you just
argument.
called me, a hooker and a prostitute, which I'm not.
Okay, well that's
Yeah,
another.
well, listen, I'm going to just tell you because I'm not ever going to lie to you, right? Definitionally, OnlyFans work is prostitution. Now, you may not like that, but that's exactly what it is.
That's your
Is there much
opinion,
difference
but-
between
not an
that and
opinion.
like professional
It's not an
football
opinion.
players and baseball players that like use their bodies and then they're no good
Yeah,
later?
there's a big difference.
I dated a guy with what's it called, CRT
Yeah.
from football.
Yeah, there's a
whatever.
big
He's
difference
messed up
between
forever in his brain. Like he'll never be the same from getting tackled. And,
Yeah,
like,
that's
he
not
did it for
sexual
money.
It is true.
prostitution.
It's but it's he sacrificed his body and his brain
Yeah,
for
but-
the job.
Yeah. And you know what?
It's kinda similar.
There's less of a likelihood for those injuries than a construction worker should men not work construction. So the thing is like when you're looking at trying to make the sports comparison, which has always been a terrible comparison, that men will utilize their bodies in a professional status, which may lead to risk, right? Almost all functions of men's jobs are that way. An electrician, a construction worker.
Yeah, my whole family does
All of these- hang
construction.
on, all of these jobs are extremely high risk, but necessary to society. When it comes to
Sports is necessary to society?
How is there an equivalency to sports entertainment to selling asshole pics for $5?
I think it's that men are jealous that they can't do it. Like
Oh no, they can do
any woman on the planet, any woman on the planet with anything, any disability, anything, can make money off of an OnlyFans with the right
Yeah.
attitude and consistency because
Yeah,
of the
great.
way
You know
that
what they're
men
making on OnlyFans? What are they
fetishize
making on
women.
average?
I'm
What are they
sorry.
making on average? What are they making on average on OnlyFans? Women,
I don't know what they're making.
$100 a month on average.
That's because they're
What?
not. If they're not consistent enough, I'm sure that's a
No,
lie.
not
You gotta
because
know the
it's
numbers on this, but it's like
Because there's like with every profession, there's elite levels which make a ton of money and they're extremely
But
rare,
if
just
anyone
like
who wasn't
professional
elite and
athletes.
was consistent, they could be a millionaire again too, just posting and finding their right demographic.
No, that's not true. And we have all the evidence in the world that
It's
that's not
because
true,
men,
because
it's like
tons
there's no,
and
they're
tens
not
of thousands of women
satiated.
who do it. The evidence is all against you. There's tens of thousands of women who are very consistent with their OF and it never goes anywhere, ever. Because just like with
literally
all,
all
forms
of my
entertainment,
friends
there
are
has to
making
be
like $1 million
shtick.
a month.
I'm
That's
saying-
really
Yeah,
not
okay,
true.
I don't
Yeah,
think-
that's not. All your
Again,
friends.
there has to be a
Wait.
shtick or something.
All your friends are
You have
making
to have
$1 million a month. A month.
Not
So they
all
make
of
$12
my
million.
friends.
That's
I
what you
mean,
just said. How much do you make?
Most of my
How much
friends
do
are
you make?
making a lot. I don't want to say how much I
Is it
make.
$1 million a month?
No, not
Okay.
yet. But it should be. Like that's
So
where
how
it's
many of your
going
friends
to.
are making $1 million a month?
I have like 4 or 5 friends that are making over
Here
$1
come
million.
the 180,000 IRS agents.
I'm sure they've
Can I
got it
ask
down.
a question?
You can. I mean, do you guys not know like Sophie Rain? She made $42
Was that
million.
Yeah. Yes, there are.
That's also fake news, I
Camila,
think.
it's not
right?
fake. It's not fake.
I think it is. I think it is
No,
fake.
it's not. What about the girl that was on this podcast, Nala? She made over
Yeah, you mean the
$18
woman right
million
now who's being
on
audited?
OnlyFans.
Yeah, she claims she's broke and being audited by the IRS.
Now
yeah.
she's broke because she stopped doing OnlyFans, and now she's a Christian, and she.
Well, no, it's because she was moved out of that industry due to aging and due to the fact that.
Well,
she
I
was,
have the
very
same manager as
limited in
her, and
content.
she made $18 million on OnlyFans.
Can I ask
Yeah,
you a
we're not.
question?
Nobody's disputing.
But he said I'm
Hold on,
making
hold on.
$100
Hold on.
a month.
No, he
No,
said
I
that
didn't
the
say you're
average.
making 100. You just did the meme. Here's the meme. I say on average, right? Women are 5'6", and you go, I'm 5'7". That's literally the me. You just did it, right? On average, women are 5'6", and you say that's not true. I'm 5'7". Do you realize how absurd that is, right? I said
Okay, I'm
what
sorry
is
for
an
being
average
absurd.
woman making on OnlyFans? Did I say anything about you? Didn't say anything about how much you make on OnlyFans. Specific women are going to be able to make a lot of money on OnlyFans, right? It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with what they're on average making. What are they on average making? About $100 a month.
Well,
Not
you're
much.
such a hater on OnlyFans, but you're looking up on Safari, like what's the average? I just think that's weird.
Well, knowing stats for an industry that I'm opposed to is weird. That's fucking weird. With big political opinions like that, it's no wonder you do OF, right? Yes, of course, you're going to do oppositional research on things that you have disagreements with. Why wouldn't you do that? Well, how is that even weird? That makes no sense.